Susan stood by the kitchen window looking out at the garden. The leaves from the cherry tree lay scattered on the grass like pages from a book no one read anymore. She turned slowly, adjusted her sweater, and called out, "Ian, did you move my purse?" From the living room came the sound of a newspaper page being turned. "No, Susan. Why would I do that?" "Because my money is gone. I had $100 in there, and now it's missing." Ian sighed. It wasn't the first time. In recent months, Susan had been misplacing things more and more often. Sometimes it was her keys, sometimes bills, sometimes old photos of the children, and whenever she couldn't find something, she blamed others, usually Kira. Their daughter was 19, quiet, sensitive, always with a book in her hand. She didn't know how to defend herself against her mother's sudden bursts of anger. "Mom, I didn't take anything," she'd repeat each time. "Maybe you just forgot where you put it?" "I don't forget," Susan would snap. "I'm not stupid." Ian tried to calm things down, but each week he felt more and more helpless. When Susan decided to sell her car, no one objected. The red Nissan had been sitting in the garage for months anyway, and she rarely left the house. "I don't need to drive anymore," she said. "Why pay insurance for nothing?" The buyer came on Saturday morning. By afternoon, Susan was holding a bundle of banknotes that still smelled of someone else's hands. She counted them 3 times, then put them into a white envelope. "I'll put it in the bedroom cabinet," she announced. "No one ever looks there." Ian nodded. He saw her place the envelope inside, close the door, and walk away. Then he went about his own day and thought no more of it. Until later. 3 days later, Susan ran into the kitchen, panic in her eyes. "Ian, the money's gone." "What do you mean, gone?" "I put it in the cabinet, right in the middle of the shelf." Her voice trembled. "And now it's not there." "Maybe you moved it somewhere else?" "No, I know what I did." They began searching. They turned half the house upside down. Cabinets, drawers, even behind the washing machine. Nothing. Susan grew more frantic, and every word from Ian only made her angrier. "It must have been Kira," she finally said. "She was home when I put the money away." "Susan, don't say that." Ian tried to calm her. "Kira would never do that." "Then who?" she shouted. "Tom? Peter? They live hundreds of miles away. It was her." Kira heard them from upstairs. She came down the stairs, pale as paper. "Mom, how can you think that of me?" "I'm not thinking. I know." Susan slammed her hand on the table. "Give me the money back." "I didn't take it," Kira cried. "I would never do that." The argument lasted for hours. Ian tried in vain to separate them, but the words had already been said. Finally, Kira packed her bag and left, without saying goodbye. Months passed. The house grew quiet, cold, as if the light had gone out. Susan, more and more, often forgot what day it was. Sometimes she'd wake in the night convinced she had to go to work, though she'd been retired for years. Other times she'd cook dinner and forget to eat it. Ian made an appointment with a doctor, but Susan refused. "I'm not crazy," she said. "I'm just getting old." Then came the accident. It was morning. Ian was in the garden when he heard a scream. He ran inside. Susan was sitting on the floor, the kettle spilled beside her, steam rising, red burns on her hands. At the hospital, the doctors spoke calmly, clinically. "First and second degree burns, she'll be fine." But Ian knew nothing would ever be fine again. Because in the conversations that followed, one word fell like a verdict: Alzheimer's. The disease progressed quickly. Susan became someone else. sometimes gentle as before, sometimes aggressive, suspicious. She forgot names, lost track of sentences halfway through. "Where's Kira?" she would sometimes ask. "Is she not coming because she's still angry?" Ian never knew what to say. One afternoon, he went down to the basement to get a set of tools. He wanted to fix the lock on the garage door. It was cold and smelled of dust. He opened the toolbox, and a small screw rolled out, disappearing under an old cabinet. He knelt to pick it up, and then saw something white. He reached further. His fingers touched paper. It was an envelope. He pulled it out carefully. On it, Susan's familiar slanted handwriting, "Money, car." Inside were the banknotes, neatly folded, the full amount. He froze. The envelope couldn't have fallen there by accident. Someone had placed it there. Susan had, in a moment of fear, forgetting she'd done it. For a long moment, Ian sat on the cold floor, holding in his hands the proof of his daughter's innocence. "Oh, God, Susan," he whispered. "What has this disease done to us?" That evening, he called Kira. They hadn't spoken in months. "Honey, I found the money." There was silence on the other end. "Where was it?" she finally asked. "In the basement, slipped under a cabinet. Mom must have hidden it there." So, she really didn't remember. "No," Ian said quietly. "It was the illness, not her." Kira came the next day. At the hospital where Susan had been for weeks, she sat by her mother's bed. The woman was asleep, breathing unevenly, her hands wrapped in bandages. Kira took one of them gently in hers. "Mom, he found the money. Everything was right where you put it." Her voice broke. "I forgive you." Susan opened her eyes as if she'd heard something, but soon closed them again. Maybe she didn't understand, or maybe she simply couldn't answer anymore. Kira stayed for a long time. She knew it wasn't her mother's fault. It was the disease, that cruel one that steals memory and turns love into suspicion. At home, Ian placed the envelope on the table. He looked at it with a feeling he couldn't quite name. Anger, sadness, relief, all at once. On the back, he wrote a few words. "It's not your fault, Susan, and not Kira's either. It's the fault of the disease that takes people away before they're truly gone." He put the envelope back in the cabinet, the place Susan had meant to keep it safe. A few weeks later, when Susan could speak again, Ian brought Kira to see her. The woman sat by the window, looking out at the garden. "Kira," she whispered, "I knew you'd come." Her daughter smiled through tears. "I'm here, Mom, and I'm staying." Susan nodded. "Good, because I think I lost something. But it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're here." Kira hugged her gently. She felt her mother tremble, as if afraid of her own thoughts. "You haven't lost anything, Mom. Everything's right where you put it. That disease, that cruel, deceitful disease, can tear people apart before they even realize what's happening. It can destroy trust, break hearts, pull families into endless circles of blame. But sometimes if even a spark of love remains, it can also teach forgiveness." Kira understood it then, that true forgiveness isn't forgetting. It's understanding. And as she drove home, she knew that even if her mother was losing her memory, she herself would remember this day forever. What would you do if you were in Kira's or Ian's shoes? How do you think it's best to support a loved one in the early stages of Alzheimer's when their behavior becomes difficult to understand? Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments and leave a like if this story moved you. If this story touched your heart and you'd like to try something that may help support daily memory and attention functions, we invite you to explore an app designed for people living with Alzheimer's and dementia, available on iOS and Android. Links are in the description below. It's a gentle brain training game created especially for those affected by dementia or Alzheimer's disease, particularly in the early stages. Its goals are to stimulate memory, exercise logical thinking, introduce a calm daily routine of mental activity, and provide a meaningful and relaxing moment of fun, even together with loved ones. Click the link in the description to download and try it yourself. Even just a few minutes a day can be a small but valuable step toward caring for your mind's well-being. Disclaimer: this channel does not provide medical advice or diagnosis. If you or someone you love is concerned about their health or behavior, please contact a doctor or healthcare professional. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in the next story.